Hello, today we are going to do the first topic of Indian Contract Act 1872. This is part of the subject of legal environment. Let us start with the first slide where we talk about the essential elements of a valid contract. It starts with the proposal and acceptance, then consideration, capacity of parties, free consent, lawful object, in writing and registered, intention to create legal relationship, certainty, and possibility of performance. Now, if you look at the first one, that is proposal or offer and acceptance, we can deal with this with an example. For example, a buyer and a seller. Now, the seller makes an offer, right, of its goods or services. Now, if the customer agrees with the offer, then there is acceptance. Consideration, the second one, refers to a mutual exchange of benefits. For example, the seller will receive money and the buyer will receive goods or services. Capacity of parties, will deal with this a little bit in detail later on. It refers to the competency of the parties, that is, for example, the buyer and the seller. Free consent is whether the parties are agreeing to the contract without any pressure or force. Then we have lawful object, where the contract has the object is valid and it is not void. Then in writing and registration, intent should create legal relationship, because here when a contract is being created, we are not trying to create a illegal relationship. Here it has to be a legal relationship. See, for example, those who are in the mafia or who are doing smuggling, they have what you call illegal relationship. Certainty means whether the contract is certain, whether the contract can be carried out, implemented on a perfect time or date, place, etc. Possibility of performance refers to whether the contract can be performed, right? It cannot be exaggerated, it cannot be unrealistic, it can be performed. Now you come to the first concept of the contract, that is agreement, section 2E. Every promise and every set of promises form the constitution for each other is an agreement. Proposal, when accepted, is a promise. That is, proposal or offer plus acceptance equals to agreement. So when you talk about an agreement, there has to be a promise. Promise refers to the agreement itself, right? When it is accepted, when the proposal or offer is accepted, there is a promise, right? And then it equals to an agreement. Contract, section 2H. An agreement enforceable by law is a contract. So any agreement which can be enforced by the law of the land or the Contract Act itself is a law also, then it is a contract. Hence, contract is a combination of agreement and enforceability. To be enforceable by law, an agreement must possess the essential elements of a valid contract as contained in sections 10, 29 and 56. Proposal, section 2A. Now, I earlier told you that proposal can also mean an offer given by, for example, a seller. So when one person signifies to another his willingness to do so or to abstain from doing anything with a view to obtaining the assent of the other to such act or abstinence, he is said to make a proposal. So when he is making a proposal or offer, he's showing his willingness to do it, right? Or we can stay away. That is, abstain means staying away to do anything. That is a proposal. In other words, a person should offer to do something. This offer must be sufficiently communicated to the person for whom he intends to do something with a view to obtaining his assent to it. So whatever he is offering, his main objective is see that the other person will accept it. So maker of an offer is same thing as a proposer, which is again same thing as an offerer or a promiser. There are some concepts of the Contract Act. We'll see. A first question is, what is a counter offer? It is a rejection of the original offer and making a new offer. New offer is a counter offer. What is invitation to an offer? It is not an offer. It is only an aim to circulate information of readiness to negotiate business with anybody who comes to the person sending it. You may have noticed in advertisement there is a small asterisk below the advertisement. Now, this asterisk symbolizes an invitation to an offer. Means if you are ready to make a transaction, or if you are ready to make an agreement, then you have to first negotiate. What is auction sales? It is an invitation to an offer. One another type of invitation to an offer, only when a buyer makes a bid for the item that there is an offer. So you have seen in auction sales, a particular object or a good is being displayed for selling, but only when there is a bid. Anyone who's offer to pay for it, or is ready to pay the highest amount of money, then there is an offer. What is a standing or open offer? The continuous supply of a certain article at a certain rate over a definite period is called a standing offer. Unless there is an order, there is no contract. So every time, like in a monthly basis, you at a certain rate, the offer is taking place on a monthly basis, and you are accepting it. This is a standing or open offer. Now let us see the difference between the invitation to an offer and an ordinary offer. Invitation to an offer, or in short ITO, refers to a person who proposes certain terms on which he is willing to negotiate and invite the other party to make an offer on those terms. Conversely, an ordinary offer refers to a person who expresses his willingness to be bound by the terms of his offer if the other party to whom he is making it accepts it. Another concept under the Contract Act is acceptance, section 2B. When the person to whom a proposal is made signifies his assent thereto, the proposal is said to be accepted. A proposal, when accepted, becomes a promise, that we have seen earlier. So that means the other person, for example, when the buyer signifies or indicates that he is accepting the offer by the seller, then there is an acceptance. To make the contract binding, there must be absolute and unconditional acceptance of the terms of a proposal. Now, what does binding mean? Binding means to bound, means to make the other parties obligated to each other to make a contract successful. Performance of a conditions of a proposal is an acceptance of the proposal. Thank you, and we shall see the next topic later.